Want to know where to find your pages with the query parameters on them in Google Analytics 4? Let's go. First thing we need to do is open Google Analytics 4 to our homepage. On the left-hand side, we're going to click Explore. This is the scary new freeform Explore portion of Google Analytics 4, and it can be very daunting, but we need to use it in order to create a custom report. In the middle of the page, we're going to choose this freeform option. This is going to generate a sort of pre-built report that we're going to modify into the report you need to track your query parameters. On the left-hand side, we have all of the variables that we need to generate our report. Currently in the report, our rows are our cities, and we need to change that in order to be our pages with the query parameters on them. To do this, we need to add the pages with query parameters to our dimensions list. We're going to do that by hitting this plus button here on dimensions. It's going to pop open this menu here with a search bar at the very top. In the search bar, we need to type the word path. One of our options is path with query string, and we're going to select that. And in the upper right corner, we're going to hit import. As you can see now, we have the page path with query string as one of our dimensions. We're simply going to grab this and drag it over to our rows. Now that we have this in our rows, we're going to remove our city row dimension. You can see now in our data list, we're getting in the paths with the query string still intact. This site uses the ID tag quite a bit. In order to see more rows, I'm simply going to change this drop down to 500 rows. And you can see now that our data is starting to expand quite nicely. But what if we need to filter it by a specific query string? Let's go back to the left side. Scrolling down our tab settings, we can get to the bottom where we have this filters option. If we click on this open box, it will open up all of the options that are currently used within this freeform report. You'll notice here that we have page path and query string options. By clicking that, it's going to open up a filters box in which we can do a simple expression match. I want to filter all of the URLs that utilize the ID = string. I'm simply going to choose match type and contains, and then type in ID =. I'll hit enter, and as you can see, my report has filtered itself down to only showing page paths with a query string that contains the ID =. If I wanted to see specific data that's attached to each of these pages, I could then edit this values section by dragging in any new values I want to see. Let's say I wanted to see average session duration. So I simply head down to the metrics menu here and hit the plus like we did before. Just like how we added dimensions, we can add metrics this way. I can use the search bar or scroll down to this average session duration, check mark it, and click import in the upper right. Now if I return to my metrics section, you'll see that I have average session duration added as a metric. I simply drag this over to the values section, and now you can see it's added average session duration to my metrics. I can then use this icon here to actually export this data if I wanted to. And if I return to the Explore menu on the left, it will actually save my last freeform event right here. So I can simply click into it and see the updated results. This is not the only way to track this. In Google Analytics 4, you could actually use custom events to also track this, which may be the better way in the long haul, but it takes a little bit more time to set up and isn't as fluid as setting up a custom freeform report. If you want to know how to set up events or anything else within Google Analytics 4, drop your question in the comments. And if you need any other help, go to my profile and set up a one-on-one with me.